Hello. How we doing? Back in this game. Remember this game? Play it again here or there. You're working? Working hard or hardly working? So, what did we do last time? That's right, we did this crap last time. I actually just before did the mirror of the wire, so that's now a thingamabob that's thingamabobbin. I'm also trying to remember what I was up to. I have this vague recollection that I was making this an entire circuit array. Oh, that's right. Needed to make 4 red circuits. Yeah, so I leave these notes lying. I knew that leaving a note behind would be useful. Hey, it's Mamoru. How you doing? Hello. Wire, Iron, and Sebastian. Um, Sebastian. Actually, you need to be electronics components. Like that. Set train limit. You know what, I'm actually going to do that. Just to... I know it's just one tick box. I know it's one tick box, but it just saves the hassle of overriding it. It just pulls everything into consistency, into line. National holiday. Ooh, nice. Staying home. The way that bot decides on whether or not you get the cheat bonus or not is kind of arbitrary and weird. Ninebot gets the 17500 because it's a cheating bot, whereas my role is higher tier than that one, which means I get assigned to the lower tier. I think I only get assigned, as far as the bot is concerned, I'm only a subscriber. Even though I'm technically broadcaster, channel operator, channel owner. I mean, technically channel operator isn't the correct term too. But yeah. It's because the dumb way that it interprets the roles is basically the short answer. You have to be a cheating bot and not a subscriber to get the bonus. Yeah, you have to be that specific combination. So technically, if the drop bear bot was to enroll itself in the heist, it wouldn't. It would also no, it wouldn't get the bonus. Oh boy, this requires way too much brain power than I have the ability to dispense. Um, Hang on a cotton licking minute. Okay, okay. I was just autopiloting and then I was like, hang on a minute, what's going on here? Yeah. Don't need that, so getting rid of a little bit of excess crap is always good. That's right. That's right. The end of last time, we figured out how to get an extra beacon in. Yeah, or you can assign people to specific role. You can add roles to people, but it's only like a single role, and yeah, it's crap. It's crap, basically. I think I could wash it out the outside, but I'm not going to. Just too much effort. Oh yeah, we need to get rid of that as well. Stop. Cool. Think that's everything, I think? Maybe? Maybe? There we go. Products finished, 42,000. I do that and that. Products finished, 0. Yeah. Why no face cam? Well, I did have one at one point, and then I changed how the setup works, and then it stopped working. That's basically the answer. The thing that I was using for the face cam is being used for the computer now. The actual screen. And I did have, like, I do actually have another card in the PC. It just won't work for whatever reason. The two cards won't play nicely together anymore because one of them's really ancient. Okay. So that is not done. This needs to be red circuits. I mean, there's an argument that I could just buy a new capture card, but at the same time, I already have like a box full of them. I have like some. I have a. Oh, it's technically a scan converter, which is but it's what you used to use back in the day, and you would plug it into like a VCR, and that was how you would capture a screen. And that's like 25 years old. Unfortunately, I can't actually use it because it turns out it needs it has well, it has a basic interface, but the majority of the controls are on a remote control that comes with it, and I don't have the remote control, and it's stuck in a funny mode, so I can't use it. I can't relive the retro dream of porting a PC SVGA output to a videotape. Because that's what everyone wants to do, poorly. So I need another one of these. That I can do without too much brain power. Just a simple matter of copy and paste. Alright, so the next item on the agenda is blue circuits. Circuits. What do you need? Rare metals, reds, and sulfuric acid. I can get rid of that from the center. Blah, blah. Yes. That's running in the minute. Can we make it not running? I'll run out of water quickly enough. Alright. So, metals are on cards there. And, well, that's not actually assigning a thing, it's assigning this thing in circuits. Oh, acid as well. Probably help. Okay. I mean, it's quite a long craft cycle, so it's not surprising it's going to be quite low. So I only need 21,000 of these. What are we doing? 1.2k is the actual. I have all this stuff pre-calculated in Factorio Lab, but the beacon numbers are not consistent to what actually comes out. So you need to just test these builds and get a feel for the numbers. And the survey says that I need about 5 of these, apparently. That's assuming I do 4. But I could double up and do 8. I really shouldn't. Well, how's the item input looking? So we're consuming 2.7 a minute. If I was to do, or that's 1 of 4. So that's 9,600 a minute. Which in turn means 9,600 a minute. So I suppose I could do more. It's a very slow rate, effectively. Yeah, there it goes. So that's shut down. 4,300 a minute, 4 into 16, it's just shy of 20. Oh, that's out of 400,000 anyway. So what I'm thinking of is, this is going back to how many trains per minute need to come through and unload. And the goal is to try and keep it no more frequent than 2 unloads a minute for any product. Even 2 unloads a minute is pretty tight, particularly for something which is unloading 3 things. I have a sneaking suspicion I might need to rework the at some point. But we'll see how we do. Yeah, these I might eat. Make it 8-way. It comes down to it. Like that. Hop. Acid. That one is key. It's got wonky substations. Question is, can I squeeze this into there? Sort of. It's a little bit wasteful on beacons, but like... Oh wait, it's coming into the side though. It's complicating things. Right, let's grab this. Ammo. Now the thinking begins. It really wants to be over there. Ah, would you look at that? Melting instant. Should probably fix that. Make it look nice. It's only now that I realise I probably should do it like that. There. Switch it to the other side. So that way, the acid can potentially link to... Oh, we'll see. Might not need to worry about that. It's one of those... Getting the fluids all arranged is one of those really annoying... Or can be really annoying things. Like, it could be here. Like, it's got enough reach to go all the way down there. That one? Yeah, you're 8. We'll see. We'll see. That's 1. That's 2. 3. And that's 4. 3 and 4. Effect. Go there. And tap into... Oh, this is going to get messy, isn't it? This is the makings of a bad idea, isn't it? Yeah, this is probably the makings of a bad idea. But I'm going to persist with it anyway. There's no fun if we just stick to good ideas. Because now we get to fix bad ideas. Consistent. I like to have it alternate. Yeah, whatever. Whatever. Works. Fine. It won't come back to haunt me later. Two, 1, 2, 1 and 2. I just need to link it together. Somehow. Okay, it's got 3, but I don't actually need 3. Yes. Twixt. Had a fun issue today. Defender quarantined and disable all programs on your laptop service. Dear. Can't win. Guess I'm at there then. I noticed there's been a few patches lately too. I'm gonna hazard a guess that relates to the volume of patches is related to that. Really just can't rely on anyone anymore. Get it right. I must admit, I'm probably a little bit over cynical, and kind of tunnel vision on one thing, but I do kind of ultimately blame it all on Agile. And also having quite a few bad experiences with Agile. This there's this sort of argument to be made that Google, you know how Google, they're, they're sort of the king of hashtag unfinished projects and abandoned projects, and I again kind of put that down to the agile ways, where once you reach that mature stage of a project, is the point where Google abandons something, and that's also the point where agile really starts to lose. I've found in the past this is where agile loses its momentum. So that's my rant about agile. Thank you for my TED talk, for attending my TED talk. the hell was I putting in? Oh, red circuits, that's right. There. Go. So... You... Test run. Probably a good idea. Also, properly powering the entire thing would also be good. That reads it can. Probably didn't need to bring all of the belt with it, but at least it's, you know, it's big, little, big, little, big, little. It's fine. Okay, let's. It's a little bit nicer. I'm trying to remember. I had something happen to earlier this week. I'm trying to remember what it was now. I was actually thinking. Speaking of things happening during the week, I was actually thinking of I should really write these down. Things down. That way I can ramble about them later. But I guess I'll just keep forgetting them for now. For me, it's mostly just cloud services not working. Just sort of like, yeah, that's a Tuesday. Down for maintenance or something. Or, oh, I think, yeah, because it had the pipe attached, yeah. Theory, yeah, this one. Um, there we go. I mean, I'm gonna spawn stuff in anyway, but it's just, uh, it's a habit. Keep to minimize minimize the imbalance. In the final build, any imbalance when it's starting up will pretty much ruin the build. That's the one downside to this style of build, but the advantage is it is very UPS efficient. And it's also more of a challenge to build. That's the only other reason why I do it. Otherwise, I would just go back to just sledgehammer balancing everything like I used to. Just more of a logistic challenge. I don't actually have to. It's all right now, but I'd like to. I don't think there is an equivalent. Like an equivalent that's got a single run on it. Actually, one thing I did see recently was uh, talking about Open Office and the current state of it, where I'd always wondered this because it hasn't really seen any major updates in a long time, and it sort of disappeared into the background. And yeah, it hasn't had an update since like 2014, and any updates that you do get are completely superficial. It's also interesting to see people looking back on it fondly. Well, it really was never that good. I was actually a very early user of OpenOffice. I used, I don't remember, it was a pre 2.0. I mean, the original name was stupid, the openoffice.org. Like, having the, it's probably not as insane now, but back in those times, having a website as a name of a program just looked really stupid and out of place. I mean, these days it's entirely believable, but this is long before even. Well, actually, we're going through the initial wave of the I prefix, so I guess I can't talk about reference it to the I Apple I everything. Oh, I say Apple. Literally everyone copied that. Once the iPod was established, you'd start seeing I everything everywhere. Yeah, I was a very early user of that, and it was very not good. It didn't improve in 2.0, but it was still not great. It was like going back to it's like using even LibreOffice is like this. It's like going back to using WordStar or one of the other Office packages of the early 90s, the pre Office dominating days, the Office 97 days. It's like using one of those programs, like WordStar or Lotus. That's what I'm thinking of. Yeah, the Lotus package. Just really clunky. Trying to pick through everything in a file menu. Yeah, I'm one of them. I'm anti-file menu. The top file config menu. Because all of the programs back in the day, you couldn't do anything in a single click. You had to do menu hunting. So it was drop down menu, sub menu, sub menu, then the thing you want. It's just so inefficient. And that was also assuming they even had keyboard shortcuts. Normally the case was the keyboard shortcuts would quite happily keep on moving around between versions. Just something you really want in a program is having your shortcuts just randomly change constantly. Now I'm thinking about that, I don't know what program that was attached to. I'm rambling on about. Remember now. So I always do like to have a specific. When it comes to rambling on about something, I do like to have a specific in this case a program, or a specific thing in mind that's caused the offense, not just rambling aimlessly. I can't remember what it was now. There used to be so many. I think it was like in 1990 or 1991. There was it's like 700 something document programs available. It's actually kind of crazy. I want to say kind of. I mean, it was legitimately crazy. All of them had their own idiosyncrasies and did one thing very well. None of them did anything well. Alright, so let's give this a test. That. Want some of that. That being the items it needs, and the names of the items it needs is escaping my head right now. But you're going to need sulfuric acid, however. I'll get some sulfuric acid. I mean, in theory, this should be, what was it, 8 times 1.2. But it always does end up being a little bit wonky. Case in point. 1.2? That can't be right. Yeah, game has internal rounding that can muddle things up. So that's 11k. That's actually... Well, I only need 21k, so that's actually enough as it is. Well, we're saying 3 builds, but it's actually only 2 builds that are needed. When I say it's enough, I mean 1 on this side, because this entire build is mirrored. This entire sub-factory is mirrored down the middle, so it'll be 1 on the other side, and then it's done. That's actually good to know. What's the... Yeah, 11k. 25k a minute red circuits is good. That's 5 minutes per train, and then 10 minutes per rare metals train, which is even better. 40k at a minute, that's 10 minutes per sulfur train. Number wrong somewhere. Oh yeah, 1.2. In fact, it should be... Yeah, 1.2. And now it's... In theory, it should only be 9,600. In theory. That's exactly the strangeness I was talking about. When I say strangeness, it's because it's rounding down. 1.2 would have been rounded down from something more. So yeah, it pays to be thorough when you're testing these things. Right. So 2 of them, 1 of them, and oh yeah, still need to do the electronic components. It is much the same again. It just needs the silicon glass, isn't it? Remember. Glass, yeah, and plastic. It is 4 for every 2. Same as advanced circuits, I think. 2 for every 4 seconds. Yeah. Similar. Actually, I say similar, but 2 seconds, 4 seconds, 4 seconds. 4, you make 4, you make 2, you make 2. For some reason, I was thinking 2 electronics. Oh, the reason I was checking was in my mind, I was like, hang on, is electronic circuits actually 4 seconds or 2 seconds? Yeah, it's actually 2 seconds still. It is quicker. Okay, let's get rid of these. Don't do that. And once we're done with circuits, I can actually implement them in the main base. That was 2, 8. See, yeah, this is gonna exceed. Hmm. I'm tempted to cap this off here. Oh, I did say I was going to pull the wire out of here, actually, and make a more lower level intermediate build. I'll go back to that idea, because I do need like an Immersium gear wheel factory, like engine factory, and copper wire could be incorporated into that. All that other sort of low-level junk. And the higher tier stuff, like low densities. That's right. That. Implement that. Can be a 3rd build, so yeah. So a low level one and a high level one. So what is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And I did predict 8 originally. Oh, that might... Chemistry is a bit of a... See how we do. Because I need to deal with mineral water yet. And I don't have a way of making ammonia and nitric acid yet. Those products are probably going to be a part of oil. Just have one central fluid production area. Yep, there's up, winding down. Alright, back to the point at hand. Since this is a derivative of red circuits... Oh, I left that running. Crap. So it is actually 9,600. Balls. That's, what was it? It was, So you know how I said test things thoroughly? Yeah, also make sure you're not testing the wrong thing. Alright, try this again. I should have twigged because it was way more than what it should have been. Like, instead of 9,600, if it was 10,000, that's believable, whereas 12,000 was a little bit far off, yeah. Idiot. That makes a hell of a lot more sense. Could blame Veldak. Oh wait, Veldak's here. Need to blame someone who isn't here. Yeah, 9,000... 9,750. There you go. So it means I do need 3. I really do need to add some more sounds, though. I need to dig up some more very specific Australia specific ones. Maybe pull stuff from like Fast Forward or something. Although the 80s and 90s Australian sketch comedy isn't the most palatable thing to particularly the US. People from the US, it's not agreeable to them. Rock, hello. Rock the Wolf. How you doing? Yeah, particularly the older sketch comedy, don't... In fact, I might even broaden that stroke to most of the rest of the world. I think it'd probably work with the British, but most of the rest of the world wouldn't get it. A lot of the old sketch stuff here. Do need to get the skip. Makes me laugh. So dumb. How does the flamethrower work? If I pull myself out of the editor, I actually have one. So the flamethrower, it shoots fire. The ammo behaves exactly the same as like any other gun ammo. So it has, that little bar as it's consumed, it consumes ammo. As I say, same as any other ammo that you have. So like your pistol and machine gun ammo, rocket, not so much rockets. Yeah, it behaves the same as those. Just have like one or more of these. Crude oil, iron. It does anything is set on fire, it does cling to and burn to and do damage over time. Fire does also spread if you set fire to trees. That's something you need to be careful of though, because that can be a good thing or a bad thing, particularly if you have buildings nestled in amongst the trees. If you set stuff on fire, there. like some belt in there, it will damage it. Case in point. The other thing is that flamethrower without refined flammables research, which is one of the NT researchers, without any of these upgrades, it's a little weak. Particularly before, I think it's like the third or fourth one. It just doesn't perform particularly well. Flamethrower turret, on the other hand, I mean, this increases damage of both. Here's the... What's this? Yeah, at the level that I've got it at the level doing /cheat brings it up to, which is all of the non-infinite research. Yeah, it does considerably more damage. But that applies to all damage upgrades. You need to do the damage upgrades, otherwise it doesn't really do anything. And yeah, it sticks to and does damage over time to the biters as well. Coming back round from that ramble to what you're saying, what you're asking. It will do a pretty decent job keeping the biters down below Behemoth, the green ones. Once you get to Behemoths, it starts to lose its effectiveness, but it is still doing damage over time, which is a good thing. In older versions of the game, Flamethrower was perhaps a little bit overpowered. You used to be able to do this thing where you would just run into the middle of a biter base and then just do one loop like that, and then run out, and that fire there used to persist for longer, and it would pretty much just kill everything in one just 360. You just and so it was called. So if you ever see anyone say spin to win, that's what that is. You just do a spin in older versions of the game, but they did rebalance that, so it's not a thing anymore. Sorry, I should correct that and say it's not as much of a thing, because coming back to the research, if you do the infinite flammables research, you will actually get spin to win back. Also, going another nuance with that is there is actually, even though the research is infinite, there is actually an upper limit, because there is a point where it does so much damage that it just one hits everything. Which is another reason to do infinite research on the damage. if the game's interesting that long enough to actually justify doing it. So yeah, hopefully that clears everything up. Hopefully that covers everything in mind-numbingly excessive detail. Now I gotta remember what I was doing. Oh, right. Pop. So, the thing I was doing was circuits. I can't actually show it on biters because there's no biters on this map currently. As well. So, electronic circuits. Components, sorry. Set both of these things. So, your glass. Very similar looking to steel, like somewhat similar. To just glance at it, it does look kind of the same. Actually, look at it, they are different. Go. What's the damage? Output full. Cloud, how you doing? Hello. Alright, we're draining it out. Excellent. That's pretty much the limit of what's possible. What does that get us? 7,000 a minute. So... What is that? That is 4 sevens are 28,000 for one build, assuming 4. So we need 143,000, 144,000 a minute total, which means 5.1 builds, which means 6 builds. Actually, that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exactly. Well, 5, not 6. Not exactly 6, but it's pretty close to. That's, yeah. That actually doesn't quite fit, so I will still have to push it up. I was hoping it would, I wouldn't have to, but yeah, I'm going to have to push it up. Uh, yeah, I'm going to grab, as I was saying, I'll need to pull these out of the build. Should actually, now that I think about it, come way down here. Over here. Grab both. Expand this. Go from map view. Alright, I want to say hope in Factorio. Yeah, oh, hello. Hello, boundary. How you doing? I mean, we already have a hope well in Factorio. Right, landfill area. No, brush. I want a mega brush, because I only want to click once. Alright, so that can be the low level build. Copper wire and things. Game figures out how to place it and does its track lag. Still doing its track lag and things. It'll get there eventually. So when stuff like this happens, the game will figure it out eventually. Very rarely, yeah, there we go. It very rarely, if ever, will crash when you're pasting a big blueprint. I can remember I did at one time I did something and it took nearly half an hour for the game to figure it out. It's also trying to do the map generator is also working in the background, which does occupy a fair bit of time. It doesn't inherently slow things down, but it does is a burden. Those are over there. I also have a feeling that this isn't going to be enough track. I'm going to need 8. Like this spreading out. So just while I'm thinking about it, I didn't actually mean to Control Z that, but since we've done it, okay, and just whack that one there. Actually, one way, like that. So those are as close as they can possibly be, because I can't push. This track here is as far over into the build as it can possibly be, because there's 1, 2, 3, 4 wagons, and it's basically right at the curve right now. mildly inconvenient. That's the way it is. Oh, you're actually also A. So yeah, that's double. I can fully see using 8 or more lanes, or something of that nature. I mean, it could split it up into 2 pairs of 4. This applies to the smelter as well, what I'm talking about. I'm also considering having some kind of crossover thing. So, because this is a big long chain network, I was thinking about having some kind of crossover arrangement coming back down the other side. Oh, actually, no. I can't push that far in. This crap's in the way. Go to there. Oh, I mean, there's still a fair bit of room. Tighter. But we'll have to... So this is going to have some kind of... Like, I was thinking of having the traction builder system come into here. That way I don't need to rely on the spiders. The train and the ME will actually bring everything automatically is the idea. That's why I need to do... Before I go back to the main save, I do need these main actual builds to feed this database to actually build this crap. I believe I've mentioned several times now. So yeah, what I've done already with the spider took way too long. So I don't really want to build more and have to micromanage it. Just get the supply system to do it automatically for me. Also, I might just stick these at the bottom. It's convenient to do so. As such... Oh boy, a lot of track lag. I'm also thinking some point, maybe next week, I might do a bit of a break from Factorio. We'll do something else. I've just been doing this for quite a while now, and it's getting a little repetitive. So I want to mix it up a little bit. I haven't decided for sure yet. Go. I mean, we could just do some hypnotic vampire survivors or something. I've been on that lately. Been all about that again. There's a new DLC for it, and I might give that a go. On the weekend, I started getting all of the unlocks that I was missing from the previous DLC that they released. Pretty much all caught up there now. Fun game. It's just simple fun. Alright, so you want silly corns, plastic, and glass. I wonder if it's even worth justifying putting it somewhere else. I mean, I do want to concentrate all of the circuits in one. Hey, Elizabeth here. How you doing? How you is? Yeah, I was just thinking, cause this, what are you, silicon? If this, load. Once they're assigned, so the thing that's bouncing around in my head is that I don't want too many different trains coming up here. But at the same time, it won't change. Like, a copper train, like, going up to here is always going to be a copper train going up to here. It's not likely to shuffle to a different one because these are all, like, one at a time. They're not, we're only doing one train limit of one. So they can't shuffle around. What I was thinking won't work. Can't press E when you do this. If you press E, it cancels. I always press E. Glass. Only have, plastic, silicon. Set train limit, set train limit, set train limit. Excellent. What's been going on, Lucifer? Over in Germantown. Oh yeah, you're on holiday, aren't you? Today. Um, components, electronic components, components, electronic alonements. That hurts my head to say. It's like trying to rearrange the letters of Raid Shadow Legends. Shade Ladder Legends. It's the discount knockoff. That's 4. Pick up all of this. Just going to move it up a few tiles. That's good track lag. Should actually see what the time usage is. Oh, that's right. The thing that took nearly half an hour. That was it was a mod which was water fill. It was one of the water fill mods. It had this super duper. So it had like a regular water or landfill mod. Sorry, this was before landfill was introduced into the game, and it had two different types of landfill. It had one which, just added a single tile like concrete, and then there was a super one which filled an entire lake. And yeah, I clicked on a lake with it to see what would happen, and it was thinking for a very long time. I don't remember if that one also um like it calculated and balanced out the landfill items in your inventory. I don't remember. Seem to remember it did. Like it would count the number of water tiles that were in the lake, and then 83,000. The offender. Game update 8. Can't actually tell. Assume it's track lag. Uh, oh, hang on. Hang on a minute. I just realized I'm doing a dumb. Before I get too deeply into Dumbsville, let me double check the count on this. It's like this warehouse just absorbs a ridiculous amount of stuff. Can afford to just bumble around. Like 28,000 circuits a minute. Oh. Why don't I check these things? Other reason why I should check this before committing all the way down. Or should? Yep, it says now it's the true number. 28. Pump that up to 1 minute. 1 minute's worth of production. Make sure it's performing as it should. Yeah, 28. So 28 into 143 is 5.1, so 6. So the reason I was like, hang on a minute, is that's 6 total. Per side, that's only 3. So I only need 3 here. I mean, I might do 4 regardless, and let the starter base take the excess. But yeah, I don't actually need that much. It's also quite a slow one too. A slow producer. Tree in the way. Dude. Alright, now we're going to wait 5 years for this to paste down. Oh yeah, gears is... Oh, gears will be a tiny one. What does gears go into? Just engines, I think. Oh, engines and belt, okay. So we'll... Oh, I can't actually... I was like, okay, I'll just pan over to here while waiting for this thing to lock up the game for nearly 2 minutes. But I can't do that. Yeah, belt's actually there. I need to send... Oh, there we go. And now, somewhere amongst here was a radar. I guess that's been lost. It's like, yeah, there was one over there. Oh, that's right. It was in the, in amongst the, okay, now I've got full coverage on the whole thing. Yeah, see, that's too close. So we'll have to be pushed up and out of the way. Unless this fits. This fits, we're golden. If it doesn't fit, we must acquit. It's not going to fit because I actually need 2 of these. I should have done this before. Very important. There we go. Right, I think it's safe to call that pretty well complete. Slap that there. And yeah, that's now got to be that much high, that much higher. make room for this monstrosity. I mean, if I didn't put the extra components in, it wouldn't matter. But I am being a bit generous and overbuilding it. Because circuits tend to need overbuilding. I mean, apart from the fact that I do want to use it to supply the starter base as well, but a good oversupply really doesn't hurt for circuits, as we've learned many times in the past. Every base that I've done, it always goes a lot smoother if there's a decent oversupply. It's not nearly as close as I thought it was. It just keeps on going. Still looks wrong. Yeah, that's very wrong. Probably make some grid aligned blueprints for this. That requires me to make grid aligned blueprints for this. Just leave it open, doesn't really matter. Pan map view in the editor. How I destroy things. Okay, so we got 1, 2, M? Almost. These haven't been changed. Metals? Advanced circuits. I also realized I was rambling on about making this thing somewhat internalized, and I never really followed through on that. One. Ah. None of those reach. Then. Fine. I'll place the wires manually like a pleb. Instead of trying to blueprint my way out of the problem. So, 2 and 2, 10, 10, 10. Excellent. Now I just need to mirror all this crap onto the other side, and then that's the next big build done. That will probably happen in between sessions, as always. Say probably, it will happen in between sessions. I don't really want to spend session retrading path that we've already done. So we'll move on, basically. You know what it looks like. You know what it's all about. Say I don't need to retread already all covered path. I will finish off this though. I could pull this into the main save now that it's done. Well, almost done. Getting a little ahead of myself. Maybe tidy things up. To housekeeping, because I need to. One of the things I do need to check on is the spacing of that. It's not big enough. It's too narrow. There's not going to be enough lanes. This is definitely a thing. How I'm going to deal with it though. Would double them up and have like merge it down and then spread it out again. Alternatively, so I had a build, a yard build that I did in, I think it's this one. So in this one, it was back to back. I think it had a bypass through the center. Yeah, here it is. It was yeah, and it's got a yeah, it's a 3 lanes and splits into pairs, then has a thing down the center. Probably won't do the closely joined that. No, here anyway. Oh boy, very much slow. Yeah, this is an earlier experimentation of the same system. This one doesn't work though. This really needs to be integrated into that more tightly. There's too much trains, like the output needs to be out here somewhere as well, because there's just too much trains crossing each other. This crossing here is just a monstrosity. It's horrible. Or this is yeah, this is out here, so this is on the other side. Insane. This, in fact, rotate it and then slap it into ins and outs here. Also, this, I think it was the plastic builds are a little, yeah, the petroleum gas is a little optimistic. Anyway, the thing I was interested in was the yard. Hey all. There's a lot of vowels. Makes up a name. I was looking at it, I was like, I can't even say that badly. Aeon. Closest. Yeah, follow. Hello, welcome. Alright, we want that. Go back. Save. Alright, now that we can move again. Uh oh, where did I put it? Oh, there it is. The size of the train, the difference in the size of the trains. Ridiculous. So the thing that particularly interested me with this build is the fact that it has a bypass lane down the middle. The current arrangement has what starts out as 2 and splits out into 4 bypass lanes in the middle. But I'm sort of thinking that might not be as good of an idea. I mean, I might still keep it for now to see how it performs, but I might I'm thinking I'll include some more lanes for the other paths through and add more of these as we go. So, I'll just start with that. Fact. That. That's actually found. It's a different playlist again. The music, that is, the background music. They rotate in and out different playlists to the tier that the free tier that I'm using. The one that I did have has been rotated back into premium. Although technically I was still able to play it, even though because it was still assigned to the it was still loaded. But if I ever close and reload the program, I would lose it, and also potentially can be flagged. I don't want. Do I want that? Or yeah, then it would be. Just a mess, really. That's what it will be. Like that. That. Yeah, so anyone can go anywhere. That. A chain. I like how I click and then there's like a half-second delay. Actually, middle. Sort of pulled the other signals back a step just to make room for it. Use it. Some shuffle between the two thingies. Yeah, the thing I was thinking of was maybe have it do that. Spread out a little bit further. Say I'm not convinced. Might not be a good idea. Bump, bump. Back lag. Okay, actually put it in a spot where it can do its thing. Of course, to be pleasantly inconsistent, it's on the outside. Yeah. So now, train on the outside can come down there and then up there just to really get in the way of everything. It actually shouldn't do that. Because it's got to go through more signal, so it'll always go through there, which is the easiest path. So yeah, something like that. This thing is just So this isn't the full length, it's just an abridged version, and then a bypass track down the middle. Yeah, it's an abridged version for now. I'll improve. Dang. It's a lot of signals. Have to do your work, you have to connect to your customer's production server. The thing is, restricted machines, we can't install anything. Copy paste works, but only for clipboard. No file can be transferred via the interface. Get an example XML files from production. Does that mean you have to open the file and then type it out manually? It's actually funny that copy paste works, but copy text, create a new file on your side, and then paste the text. It's too bad you can't like telnet it back. In PuTTY or something. It's a kind of stupidity that I would do. Solve that problem. But then again, that's something that I look at. Did a workaround. Just zip all the files need, cover the zip, convert the zip to base 64, and then you can safely copy the encoded string. That works. To code the file and unzip it. I wonder if this is technically like the center lane is effectively this center lane, so 6 of these total. For 24 versus 24. But it is doubling up. You can insta anything there, PowerShell network. Oh, you can install anything, and PowerShell might work. Sample code looks stupidly. Function to encode certificates into a file. It was just like a random tangent. It's actually funny. You think I'd be an expert in PowerShell, but I know nothing about PowerShell. So you file in, file out. Seems like the access restrictions are a little bit dubiously set up. Praise the base 64. I actually somewhat drive the colleagues insane because I base 64 everything. It's like when you learn a new tool for the first time. But base 64 is useful. Everything knows how to interpret it. So why not? Say. Oh, and also base 32. I use that as well. But that's specifically for encoding file Discounted. It's for encoding file names. At the base 5, not 6. Yeah, I encode file names as base 32. I'm just waiting for the game to catch up. Yeah, I was just looking at the pattern to make sure it was consistent, and it is. I was just making sure that like the curves there were right. This was the right spacing. It looks right. It should be right. I like that. Yeah, it's reasonably efficient at making a text encoded binary data. Although it depends on the encoding format. If you accidentally UTF-8 it, it technically doubles the size of the file. Technically, it does double the size of the file. Bring this into sensible. It's there. So effectively, I should have actually copied the first time. So I mean, I might just leave it at that instead of wrangling that for days. So yeah, that's and then there and then back down. So that's what I'm looking at. This new and improved siding system or thingy system, thingy McThing thing system. There's more paths to slide through. More effectively, by doubling the length, I've doubled the amount of trains that can be stored. Train storage is definitely going to be an issue. Oh, this is going to take a while. I do a lot of stuff that is te effectively text encoded. So base 64 is a must. Also Telnet. Well, I'm working towards Telnet because that's the equivalent of the low-level industrial stuff. It's basically it's an actual serial console in Ethernet form. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4. Excellent. Good enough to be able to read blueprint strings? I've actually decoded blueprint strings already. One of those is mismatched. Yeah. Different. I never finished what I was working on with it. I was trying to... Oh, that's right. I was trying to unpack blueprint strings. Oh yeah, just by looking at them. Yeah, that might come eventually. Yeah, but I was working on a little side project to decode blueprint strings and then package them in a book automatically. That was for packaging up the rail blueprints. But I never finished it. Mainly because I had... Uh, at the time, I wasn't as good at traversing dictionaries um, in Python. I should also say, this, called Chill Funk or something. The station's just called Funk. It's actually been pretty good as well. It's going to lose all of its circuit programming, but such is the nature of this game, is that everything you do is basically for nothing. I realize that I'm pasting over where there shouldn't be stops, but that's now because I reached the end point. No, this one. 2, 3, 4 gap, 2 gap, 1, 2 gap, 1. There we go. Hey, oh no, I did actually place them. Copy the same to the other side. Gap. 4. And loop. Ow. Slightly off. Go. That's how you turn into a monstrosity. An even bigger monstrosity. It's growing. The base is growing. Haven't even built the first one yet. One thing that I may or may not need to do is add dummy stops to equalize the train stop penalty. It's another one of those, see what happens, situations. A little bit. Is that metric? Can safely delete that. I mean, the whole fuel loader thing is obsolete. We're not using nuclear locos now. Electric locos are all the rage. I spent most of the time waiting for the game. I probably should find the rest of the no pathing trains. That would get rid of it, or at least seriously take a bite out of it. Signals aren't consistent either. I can see the red error there. I can see the mismatch there. But I don't think we'll have any train problems anymore now, or at least less. I'm gonna go big. Oh dear. Hello there, Tucker Bear. Oh, that's right, that's the one that didn't paste right. Actually feel the hiccups now. Placing signals. So yeah, that's the new one. That's silly. Some would say that's silly. I wouldn't dare. This is totally acceptable. Completely sensible. I see a... I'm just seeing things. Also, that's not supposed to be there. Yeah, I wanted the mouse. And more this side. There's significant build. So the idea is it can come up the middle and then peel into these lanes here. And it's all bi-directional. Said they're all supposed to be holds. Three names to recognize. Cool. I don't actually recognize one. Used to be one of the things of trying to find like a Colonel Will or something. Like, oh, a vac. Not quite. Like, I can't remember the last time I even got a Madzuri. In a while. It's funny, it's doing a train update despite it is changing the train stop. Yeah. Be enough space in between. And these spaces should be equal. Excellent. The annoying part is this needs to be brought into update the main one with it. I do need to do the combinator stuff still anyway. I might save the tedium of that. You know what it's going to be. We've already done the circuits, it's not going to change. Excellent. Alright, let's see how this is going to affect things. This is going to do a lot of, it's going to push, because there is several builds already in here. So it's going to move completely, actually not too bad. But it will take a bit to readjust. That one, yeah. Keep that one where it is, and then that's just brrr. Yeah, it's going to go a long way into biter territory. I could also just pull the whole base over a little bit further. Oh, it does need to run up though. I don't know. I might just lock that in place. It's already, like, I already sort of, kind of positioned it. Yeah, that's how much their builds are going to extend out by. Two or three? 5 apparently. I don't even remember doing that. Apparently there's 5 railway spiders now. How's this doing? Doing things? Did I show you this? I think I did. Yeah, I did. Yeah, I cleaned, since last time we saw, I did actually clean this up, and I added this space down here so I can add lights and fun toys to it. What I settled on the build. For those who haven't seen, this is the nuclear build that powers the turning uranium into matter, into power concern. Where going? Coming from Bot and I bot. Oh, you were plucking one of those out, one of the mining drills out from there. Yeah, because they share robo coverage. I mean, still takes a moment. I think that copper mine might be in the way too. Now that I think about it. Just about. Just trim it out the way. See, it's been going down. There's a little bit there. Don't you things. Extraction range? It's not a storage issue. Yeah, you got construction, but why? Deconjobulating. It's not even a massive construction queue either. This is normally what kills it. Eh. I know the perfect sound for that.
Ugh.
Oh yeah, because I gotta actually go through. Say it again.
Ugh.
Gotta get all of this explored and I can actually mark it. Ooh, the main game has too much track lag.
Ugh.
uh, Alright, let's place it. Alright, can we see anything that's in the way? Tree down the bottom, and then some of the mining drills, and that's it. Otherwise, it's go. Oh, you're all full, of course. Right, can you at least sort out your railway tracks such that you can actually use all your bots? Please? Please? Um... I mean, these are all stuffed to the absolute gills with track. Probably not helping things.
Stay a while. Stay forever.
Tempest. It said to stay forever. You got to now. Maybe come button. Time for bit. Oh, I forgot about that. Someone forgot about that. I actually can't even really do anything while it's on. Tied up with work stuff. Which is kind of what I expected. This, because it aligns with the same week that, the latest project has to go out. It's due this tomorrow, actually. It needs to be done tomorrow. And you get to move on to the next one. So the process begins all over again. They managed to sort out their inventories by the looks of it. Like, there seem to be, I don't see bots. There's a lot of bots, stuck out there. But they're not bots hanging around them trying to insert stuff. Like it's come good. Yeah, so I'm going to need to do all of these in between each build now. When I say now, I mean as things progress. Probably going to need to redo the track here as well. Maybe extend the length. I'm not 100% sure. That. Oh no, they're all still overclogged. Let's do this lazy way and junk things. It might help it along. I mean, that one doesn't have any junk in it, so it's probably not going to do anything. I think that's actually incomplete. That's the old one. I'm gonna take stock of what I got. Like what the state of things is. It would be really nice to get this thing going though. Fun. The question is, can you con JD into sending me one? That's the real question. He can get one and then he can send it to me. There we go. Ooh. It. Maybe. Okay, I think I found a flaw with this build. Corrected. I forgot to check the power pole spacing. I have other things JD needs to do. I need to do something with the koala prints. I got just some random recordings, but I don't want to just upload. I mean, that was kind of the point. Just uploading just videos of a printer running are kind of dumb, though. Would anyone? It is literally what he said, but at the same time, why would anyone watch that crap? I mean, and would you watch it at real time, or would you watch it sped up? can't interact, only... Oh dear. Or does he have to guide them? Impy legs going on there. Game legs or some run over by a lawnmower or something, the spider with the key legs. Hmm. Hello, train. I'm gonna need to think about that. Getting it back onto grid. I might need to add some length in between. It's actually really easy to do. Like, it is legitimately easy. Delete that. And, that out. And, extend it across. Except I'm not going to do... I was going to say I won't do it now, but I'll finish it off. I'll try and finish it. I will also slap down a radar so I can actually see the whole thing. Except I've got like 5 minutes worth of track lag to wait for. I don't actually know which one's which now. Well, that's the... Oh, there. So that would be the properly aligned one. Having 5 is actually much more efficient. I get a lot more done. I just need to shuffle down the center a little bit. Yeah. New and improved yard. There you go. Stupider than the last one. Actually makes the actually makes the builds look small by comparison. Oh boy. Yeah, that's actually the small smelter too. Dear. It's almost done up here. Still got what, like 2 more big builds to go. It is getting there. Can slow but steady progress. And then we're going to go through the slow and steady progress of fixing all the issues, of which there will be many. Hopefully it won't need too many, sort of calling it now that it's going to need rebuilds, but too many rebuilds. I can foresee needing total rebuilds by a system. I can imagine that, like, this being too narrow, I'm trying to avoid dealing with it. I have a feeling it'll end up being, like, too narrow and I'll end up rebuilding the whole thing. Excellent. Effectively just that. It's all on, yeah, that's all on grid. Line up. Should be there. I'm too far over again. That's correct. You know what? I probably should have done the other side first, and then worked inwards. See, if I put that there, it doesn't work. Because that's already grid aligned. It's already correctly back there. There. Yeah. So on and so forth. I'll save you the pain. Alright. I think it's time to get out of here. Made some good progress. As I say, as I was saying before, next week I might take a bit of a break from this and do something else. I mean, we could still do this on the weekend or something. We'll see how we go. I may or may not have time. Yeah, I'm gonna leave it there.